In a dimly lit room, deep underground, a small creature with clay-colored skin sits motionless behind a thick pane of glass. Its large, round eyes seem to peer through the darkness, as if trying to convey something no one can grasp. Then suddenly, it begins to convulse its frail body, trembling violently, foam spilling from its mouth. Two medics rush in their flashlights, flickering across the creature's strange face. But before anyone can make sense of what's happening, the screen goes black. This video, less than 3 minutes long, purportedly filmed at Area 51 in 1991, has sent shockwaves through the UFO community worldwide. But the question that haunts us remains: is this proof of extraterrestrial life, or just an elaborate hoax designed to deceive us all? And if it's real, why has the US government kept it hidden in the shadows of the Nevada desert? Welcome to one of the strangest mysteries of the 20th century, a tale of shadowy figures, classified documents, and a man who spent over 2 decades chasing the truth. This is the story of the Area 51 alien interview video, the enigmatic figure known only as Victor, and the relentless quest of Jon Stewart, not the famous comedian, but a former pro-wrestler, gubernatorial candidate, and investigative journalist who was drawn into this mystery the moment he first saw the footage in 1997. But before we dive into the chilling details of the video, let's step into a place where the truth seems forever buried beneath the desert sands. Area 51. Area 51, isolated in the barren expanse of the Nevada desert, isn't just a military base. It's a symbol of secrecy where tales of UFOs and extraterrestrials have become legend. Surrounded by desolate hills, dusty dirt roads, and warning signs that coldly declare use of deadly force authorized, this is a place even the most curious dare not approach. Civilian aircraft are banned from flying overhead, and workers at the base undergo security measures so stringent that they're weighed naked upon entering and leaving with every item down to the food they've eaten meticulously checked. Imagine it. You walk into a facility with nothing but the clothes on your back, and when you leave, every scrap of paper, every crumb is scrutinized. That's the level of control at Area 51, a fortress seemingly impenetrable where secrets are locked behind steel doors. But Area 51 is more than a military installation. It's the epicenter of America's UFO culture, where stories of the 1947 Roswell crashed-down spacecraft and covert government programs have seeped into the collective psyche. From films like Independence Day to the claims of Bob Lazar, who alleged he worked on alien technology at the S4 facility, Area 51 has become a symbol of distrust. Is the government hiding something far greater than we're allowed to know? It's in this atmosphere of suspicion and fascination that a video emerged like a bolt of lightning in the night, challenging logic and igniting curiosity worldwide. The man behind this video is Victor, a simple name that conceals a web of mysteries. We don't know who Victor is, how old he is, or even what he looks like. When he appeared on Coast to Coast AM with Art Bell in 1997, his voice was altered to protect his identity, and he offered only a vague detail. He had reason to be at Area 51 multiple times. Not an employee, not a scientist, not a soldier, just reason. This ambiguity wasn't accidental. Victor knew that if his identity were exposed, he could face unthinkable consequences. He claimed the video was copied from a classified reel filmed at Area 51 in 1991. Depicting a gray alien, a being from another world, captured after its spacecraft was shot down in 1989. But Victor never clearly explained how he obtained the footage, only hinting at a security lapse during the transfer from film to digital. This explanation, as we'll see, is riddled with questions, but it also adds to the allure of the story. Victor, with his secrecy, is like a shadow stepping out of the dark, carrying a secret that could reshape how we view the universe. And then there's Jon Stewart, not the comedian, but an ordinary man with an extraordinary journey. A former professional wrestler and gubernatorial candidate, Stewart was in his middle years perhaps, with graying hair and a deep, determined voice, when he saw the video on television in 1997. He wasn't the type to be swayed by far-fetched tales, but something about the footage, maybe the creature's eyes, maybe the chaos of those final moments, made the hair on the back of his neck stand up. It didn't feel fake, he said. It didn't seem staged. From that moment, Stewart embarked on a quest spanning over 20 years, spending thousands of dollars and traveling from Nevada to Havana, all to answer one question: is this video real? He wasn't just an investigator. He was obsessed, a man who believed the truth, no matter how terrifying, deserved to be brought to light. But what makes this video so special? Why did it drive both Victor and Stewart to risk everything to protect or prove it? To understand that we need to look at the creature itself, a being unlike anything we've seen. Described as a gray alien, it doesn't quite match the familiar image from pop culture. Instead of smooth gray skin and large almond-shaped eyes, this creature has a clay or peanut butter-colored hue with round, haunting eyes. Its head is covered in bruises, as if it had endured a brutal ordeal. It sits behind a rectangular table, isolated by a biocontainment glass, as if race on humans were the threat to it. And when it begins to convulse, foaming at the mouth, you can't help but wonder, is this a living being struggling to survive in a world not its own? Or is it just a model designed to fool us all? From the start, this story has spawned countless theories, each leading us deeper into a labyrinth of truth and deception. The first theory: the video is real evidence of an alien interrogation program at Area 51, concealed by the U.S. government. Stewart's verification of figures like Admiral William Schaefer and a medic, along with documents from the Defense Intelligence Agency, seems to support this idea. But if so, why was only a short clip leaked? The second theory: it's a sophisticated hoax staged by Victor or others for profit or fame. The dim lighting, lack of audio, and Victor's vagueness could point to a carefully crafted ruse. Yet details like the strange monitoring device and the DNI 27 overlay seem too complex for a simple scam. The third theory: the video is a government psychological operation designed to test public reaction or discredit UFO researchers. But why use a small company like Rocket Pictures instead of a major media outlet? The fourth theory: the creature is real, but the video was edited to hide sensitive information explaining the missing audio and poor lighting. And finally, perhaps the creature isn't an alien, but a secret biological experiment, accounting for the odd device and its weakened state. Personally, looking at this story, I can't shake a deep sense of unease. There's something in the creature's eyes, if it is a creature, that makes me wonder, are we facing a truth humanity isn't ready to accept? Or are we just caught in a game of shadows where the truth is always out of reach? Area 51, with all its mystery, seems the perfect place to hide such a secret. But to truly understand what happened, we need to go back to that fateful day in 1991, when a dark room at Area 51 became the stage for one of the greatest mysteries of our time. From the final moments of the video, when the alien creature convulses and the screen fades to black, the mystery of Area 51 has opened a labyrinth of unanswered questions. On April 22, 1991, at 3:15 p.m., in a sealed room deep beneath the ground at S2 Alpha, a strange event unfolded, an event that a man named Victor claimed was proof of extraterrestrial life. But this video, less than 3 minutes long, wasn't just a recording. It was the spark for an investigation spanning over 2 decades, leading Jon Stewart through the darkest corners of truth and deception. In this part, we'll dive deep into the event captured on film, the bizarre clues left behind, and Stewart's relentless quest to prove that what we're seeing isn't just a performance. But the deeper we go, the more we realize each clue seems to lead to more questions, and the truth, if it exists, remains hidden in the shadows. Let's start with the video itself, the heart of the entire mystery. On April 22, 1991, in an interrogation room at S2 Alpha, a facility believed to be within the sprawling Area 51 complex, A small creature with clay-colored skin was positioned behind a thick glass pane, designed to protect it from human bacteria and viruses. The room was so dark that only a faint light illuminated the creature's strange face, with its large round eyes and bruises covering its head. On the table in front of it was a medical monitoring device displaying a green blip with a white hue flickering up and down in an odd pattern. No electrodes were attached to the creature. No wires connected. It was just a mysterious screen, seemingly measuring something beyond our understanding. In the left foreground, a shadowy figure described by Victor as a military officer attempting telepathic communication with the creature stood motionless, as if locked in a silent conversation. On the right, a casually dressed employee moved in and out of the frame, their role unclear, but their presence adding to the unease, as if something wasn't quite right. The room, with its dim lighting and oppressive atmosphere, felt like the stage for a surreal play. 2 TV monitors reflected on the glass, suggesting that this interrogation was being observed remotely, perhaps by those with ultimate authority. But what makes this video truly haunting happens halfway through. The creature, already appearing frail, suddenly begins to convulse violently, its tiny body shaking, foam spilling from its mouth as if choking. The military officer signals, and 2 medics in short-sleeved scrubs and masks rush in. One shines a flashlight into the creature's eyes and mouth, while the other wipes foam from its strange lips. And then, just as the situation grows most intense, the video stops. No audio, no resolution, just a black screen and hollow feeling. Victor later explained that the audio was removed to protect the identities of those in the video, but that silence, in a way, is more terrifying than any scream. This video, originally shot on 16mm film and later transferred to VHS, is only 2 minutes and 55 seconds long, but it's packed with clues that make even the most skeptical pause. One of the most striking details is the digital overlay in the corner DNI 27. Victor claimed DNI stood for the Department of Naval Intelligence, an agency that at the time was virtually unknown. But the number 27 is even more enigmatic. Through years of investigation, Stewart discovered that 27 is the code for the Yankee White security clearance, a level reserved for those with direct access to the President of the United States. How could such a detail, obscure in 1996, appear in a video alleged to be a hoax? And why, if it's real, was it allowed to leave Area 51, where even a paperclip couldn't be smuggled out? The next clue lies into the medical monitoring device, a strange screen with a flickering blip unlike any medical equipment of the time. With remarkable persistence, Stewart contacted 2 major companies that produced medical devices in the 1980s and 1990s, Space Labs and Hewlett-Packard. Hewlett-Packard responded that they'd never seen such a device, and it wasn't their product, but at Space Labs, the company that supplied equipment to NASA, Stewart had a memorable exchange. He asked to speak to an old-timer in the engineering department, and a gruff veteran engineer reviewed the clip of the device. After a few minutes, he called back and said, "Kid, I've never seen anything like this in my life." He'd worked at Space Labs for 40 years, attended countless tech expos, but the device was completely alien to him. However, he offered a theory it could be a one-off, a custom-made product for a specific purpose, like devices created to detect gold in the 19th century. When Stewart asked if such a device would be needed to monitor an extraterrestrial being, the engineer replied, matter-of-factly, "Exactly. If it's not a human heart, you'd have to build something special to measure it." He didn't laugh or scoff, as if the idea of an alien wasn't far-fetched at all. But not everyone bought the story. Stewart, with admirable open-mindedness, actively sought out skeptics, including special effects experts. One of them, Alan Levine, who worked with ARO, bluntly dismissed the monitoring device. "It's not a real device," Levine said. "I could make that with 2 panes of glass, an LED light, and a servo to make the light flicker." For Levine, it was a cheap trick, like a prop in a wrestling match. But Stewart didn't stop there. He reached out to Jamie Moussan, a prominent UFO researcher who had shown the video to 13 thoracic surgeons and ER doctors. A Astonishingly, all 13 agreed that the blip, though not a typical heart rate, matched the distress of a single ventricle organ, something humans don't have. Sean David Morton, another researcher, showed it to two paramedics who noted the blip synchronized with the creature's coughing and convulsions. How could a puppeteer coordinate that, one paramedic asked? Levine, of course, had an answer. Every time the puppet moves, the servo operator presses a button to make the blip jump. But is it really that simple? The next critical clue is the creature itself. Stewart hired Bill Mums, a special effects expert who analyzed the Patterson-Gimlin Bigfoot film for National Geographic, to examine the creature. Mums, with 40 years of experience, scrutinized every frame and found something odd. The creature had no creases under its armpits, a feature present in every foam or latex puppet for decades. He sent Stewart 20 photos from 1950s dolls to modern animatronics, all showing clear armpit creases due to the drying process. But the creature in the video, not a single crease. It's a head-scratcher, Mums admitted. I can't explain why that is. Even his colleagues, initially confident it was a model, stumbled when trying to account for this anomaly. For Stewart, this was a ray of light in the darkness, reinforcing his belief that the creature might not be a Hollywood creation. But if it's not a puppet, what is it? A living being, a secret biological experiment, or something beyond our imagination? To understand the video's origins, we need to revisit Victor and his story of how the footage left Area 51, a place where, by all accounts, nothing could be smuggled out. Victor claimed he exploited a security lapse during the transfer from film to digital, but this explanation always struck Stewart as dubious. He's lying, Stewart thought when he heard Victor on Coast to Coast AM in 1997. Not about the video's content, but about how he got it. And indeed, Stewart's investigation revealed a different truth. Victor wasn't the one who leaked the video. The real culprit was a U.S. Air Force cameraman, an unidentified figure who copied the 16mm film at the Groom Lake Photo Lab. According to an email from the Defense Intelligence Agency DIA that Stewart received from an insider 3 days after the video was shot, April 25, 1991, the cameraman made 2 copies. One, a 3-minute clip, is the video we know hidden in a GSA burn bag, a detail straight out of a spy thriller. GSA burn bags used to destroy sensitive documents somehow became the vehicle to smuggle the video past Area 51's stringent security. This detail adds to the story's drama, but raises more questions. How could a cameraman pull off such a bold act undetected? And why did Victor take on the role of intermediary, risking so much to release the video? Stewart believes Victor was protecting someone. Perhaps the cameraman or a disgruntled group at S4, a facility allegedly dedicated to alien technology research. The DIA email sent to Stewart on his birthday, after 9 months of contact with the insider, offers clues about this group. It describes the leak as an unauthorized viewing, not theft, but an act that allowed the public to see what was forbidden. It also reveals that the Department of Naval Intelligence DNI led the interrogation, with other 3-letter agencies lined up outside the room to submit their questions to the creature. This specificity, almost surreal in its detail, makes the story vivid but deepens the mystery. If the video is real, why did the government let it slip? And if it's fake, who had the resources to stage such an elaborate ruse? Stewart's investigation didn't stop at technical clues. He sought to verify the people in the video, a near impossible task, given most were obscured by darkness or deceased. One of his biggest breakthroughs was confirming the presence of Admiral William Ted Schaefer, a high-ranking official who worked with Colin Powell. According to the DIA email, Schaefer was in the interrogation room, and his connection to the Yankee White Clearance Code 27 on the video lends credibility to the document. Stewart recalls his hands shaking when he Googled Schaefer and saw a Wikipedia photo of him with Powell. I'd never heard of this guy, he told Linda Moulton Howe, a renowned UFO researcher. Howe, after reviewing the list of 5 names from the DIA email, called it pure gold. "John, you have something no one in this field has," she said. These aren't famous names. If someone was hoaxing you, they'd pick names everyone knows. Stewart also contacted a naval captain, later a rear admiral listed in the email. Their initial email exchange was jovial. They joked about fried chicken at Virginia gas stations and planned a golf outing. But when Stewart revealed he was investigating the alien interview video, the captain ghosted him, never replying again. An honorable military man won't lie, a military source told Stewart. They just stopped talking to you. That silence for Stewart was a sign he was on the right track. But not all contacts ended in silence. One of the most poignant moments came when Stewart tracked down the widow of a medic in the video who died in 2014. When he called this 80-year-old woman in California and asked if her husband was involved with extraterrestrials, she didn't laugh or hang up. Instead, she said, "John, you're solving a family secret." She revealed that her husband, an Army Medical Corps doctor, never spoke about his service despite friends and family pressing him. It was a sore subject, she said. We fought over it. When Stewart sent her a YouTube link to the video, she called back 5 minutes later, her voice trembling. "That's my husband. Over the creature's right shoulder on the left side of the screen. I recognize his nose, his eyes, his forearms." This moment not only confirmed a key figure in the video, but highlighted the emotional weight of the mystery. For the widow, it was an answer to years of questions, though it came too late. Stewart's investigation took him to unexpected places like Havana, Cuba, where he met a Parkinson's-afflicted priest who seemed too familiar with the video. When shown the footage, the priest gripped Stewart's arm, his trembling hand clutching a crucifix, and said in broken Spanish, "If you can prove this is real, you hold the greatest historical document in human history." These words, though more emotional than evidential, underscored the magnitude of Stewart's mission. He wasn't just chasing a video, he was touching a secret that could redefine our place in the universe. From these clues, Stewart built several theories to explain the mystery. The first, which he leans toward, is that the video is real evidence of a hidden alien interrogation program. His verification of Schaefer the medic and the one-off device, along with the DIA document, supports the idea that Area 51 hosted covert extraterrestrial activities. But this theory leaves questions. Is the creature still alive? Where's the second copy of the film? Where is Victor now? The second theory is that it's a sophisticated hoax, possibly staged by Victor or Rocket Pictures for profit or fame. The dim lighting, lack of audio, and Victor's vagueness could suggest a planned deception. Yet Rocket Pictures denied making the video, and their 2-week vetting of Victor indicates he wasn't a hired actor. Moreover, details like DNI 27 and the creature's lack of armpit creases seem too complex for a 1996 screenwriter to invent. The third theory is that it's a government psyop designed to gauge public reaction or discredit UFO researchers. But why use a small company like Rocket Pictures instead of a major outlet? The fourth theory suggests the creature is real, but the video was edited to conceal sensitive information explaining the missing audio and poor lighting. Finally, the fifth theory posits that the creature isn't an alien, but a secret biological experiment, accounting for the odd device and its weakened state. Personally, looking at these clues, I feel a deep unease. If the video is real, it raises a chilling question. What are we dealing with, and why is the government hiding it? But if it's fake, who had the motive and resources to create something so intricate, only to let it fade into controversy? Stewart, with his persistence, has opened a door to the truth, but that door seems to lead only to more shadows. And with these clues, the story doesn't end with the video. It spreads to those affected, from a medic's family to the UFO community, all searching for answers. After the haunting clues from the Area 51 alien interview video, the story doesn't end with what was captured in those brief 3 minutes. It ripples outward, touching ordinary people, passionate communities, and the darker corners of a society obsessed with the question, are we truly alone in the universe? From the pain of a widow uncovering a family secret to the fervor of the UFO community and the media's role in fanning the flames of controversy, this story has left an indelible mark. But as Jon Stewart dug deeper, new clues emerged, along with unexpected theories making the mystery even more complex. In this part, we'll explore how the video changed lives, shaped public perception, and revealed new layers of secrecy, all deepening the question, what is Area 51 hiding? Let's start with one of the most moving moments of the story, when Stewart reached out to the widow of a medic who appeared in the video. This 80-year-old woman living quietly in California had spent years grappling with her late husband's silence about his time in the Army Medical Corps. When Stewart called and asked if her husband was involved in something strange at Area 51, she didn't laugh or hang up. Instead, her voice trembled as if a long-locked door was being opened. "John, you're solving a family secret." She said her words heavy with emotion. She explained that her husband, who died in 2014, never shared anything about his service despite friends and family pressing him. It was a sensitive topic, she said. We fought over it. Our friends, mostly ex-military, would share funny stories about boot camp or Vietnam, but he wouldn't. He just stayed silent. When Stewart sent her a YouTube link to the video, she watched it and called back within 5 minutes, her voice choked. "That's my husband. I recognize his nose, his eyes, his forearms. He's on the creature's right shoulder, the left side of the screen." This moment didn't just confirm a piece of Stewart's investigation, it highlighted the emotional toll of the mystery. For the widow, the video wasn't just footage. It was an answer to years of doubt, a reason for her husband's silence, though it came too late. But the video's impact extended beyond those directly involved. It became a blazing fire in the UFO research community, where figures like Jamie Mousson, Sean David Morton, and Linda Moulton Howe saw it as one of the most compelling pieces of evidence for extraterrestrial life. Mousson, who showed the video to 13 thoracic surgeons and ER doctors, was struck by the synchronization between the monitor's blip and the creature's convulsions. They all said it looked like a single ventricle organ in distress, he told Stewart. Morton, before his passing, confirmed to Stewart that 2 paramedics he consulted were shocked by the video's realism. They couldn't fathom how a puppeteer could coordinate that Morton said. Howe, a veteran in the UFO field, called the list of 5 names Stewart received from the DIA email pure gold. "John, you have something no one in this field has," she said. "These aren't well-known names. If someone was hoaxing you, they'd pick names everyone recognizes." The unity of this community, with heated discussions on forums, podcasts, and UFO conferences, turned the video into a symbol of hope that one day the truth about Area 51 would be revealed. The media's role was also pivotal in shaping public perception. Coast to Coast AM, hosted by the legendary Art Bell, was where Victor first revealed the video in 1997, and where Stewart continued the story over 20 years later. With millions of listeners across America, the show made the video a phenomenon sparking curiosity and debate. But it also fueled skepticism, as many dismissed such a wild story as fiction. The documentary Area 51, the alien interview produced by Rocket Pictures, further complicated matters. While it brought the video to a wider audience, its low production quality, dim lighting, and amateurish feel led many to write it off as a hoax. Yet Jeff Broadstreet and Tom Coleman, producers at Rocket Pictures, adamantly denied creating the video. "We didn't make that footage," Broadstreet told Stewart. "Victor brought it to us, and we vetted him for 2 weeks to ensure he wasn't a fraud." This detail, though minor, raises a thorny question. If the video was fake, why would a small company like Rocket Pictures invest time and effort to verify Victor instead of hiring an actor from Hollywood? The video's emergence also tapped into a deeper fear in American society, the fear that the government is hiding the truth. Area 51, with its history tied to UFO incidents like Roswell and Bob Lazar's claims, has become a symbol of opacity. The alien interview video, whether real or fake, reinforced the belief that secret programs like Majestic Aquarius or Zodiac are operating beyond public scrutiny. The DIA email Stewart received, though a retyped copy, offered a glimpse into these programs. It described the video as part of an alien interrogation and retention program run by the DIA, DNI, and CIA at Papoose Lake south of Area 51. It referred to the creature as an other Graea haploid being from the Tau Ceti star system. A detail so specific it's hard to believe a hoaxer could fabricate. Yet this specificity also heightens the unease. If such programs exist, why are we the public kept in the dark? As Stewart pressed on, a new clue emerged unexpectedly, deepening the mystery. During his Coast to Coast AM interview, he received an email from an employee of a Hewlett-Packard spin-off company revealing that HP had produced one-off devices for the Department of Defense in the 1980s and 1990s. It wasn't common, the employee wrote, and it wasn't advertised or widely known within the organization. This email, arriving almost by chance, revived the theory that the monitoring device could be a custom creation built to measure something not of this earth. It also suggested a new hypothesis. Was the video part of a larger government plan to control UFO information? Or perhaps, as some in the UFO community speculated, it was an effort by a disgruntled S4 insider group to expose the truth despite personal risks. These insiders, according to the DIA email, acted out of frustration with government secrecy, but their true motives remain a mystery. The video's long-term impact transcends its initial controversy. It has solidified belief in extraterrestrial life within the UFO community, while amplifying distrust in Area 51 and agencies like the DNI and DIA. In American pop culture, the video has become part of the UFO narrative, discussed in podcasts, documentaries, and online forums. It also raises a broader question: how much is the public's right to know worth? If the government is hiding evidence of aliens, what does that say about our trust in institutions? And if the video is a hoax, why has it wielded such enduring influence, compelling even skeptics like Stewart to dedicate their lives to uncovering the truth? But after all the clues, efforts, and tears, we come to what remains of this mystery. The Area 51 alien interview video isn't just a piece of footage. It's a challenge, an invitation to peer into the darkness and ask, what lies behind Area 51's steel doors? And perhaps more crucially, are we truly ready to know the answer? After all the clues, Jon Stewart's tireless efforts, and the emotional stories of those caught in the mystery, the Area 51 alien interview video remains an unsolved puzzle. From the dark room at S2 Alpha, where a strange creature convulsed in its final recorded moments, to the leaked documents from the Defense Intelligence Agency, this story has woven a tapestry of truth and doubt. It's not just a 3-minute film, it's a challenge to our beliefs. A reminder that some secrets, real or fabricated, still lurk in the shadows of the Nevada desert. In this final part, we'll sum up this haunting journey, highlight the questions that linger, reflect on its broader societal implications, and invite you, our viewers, to join the search for truth. Because as a priest in Havana once told Stewart, if this video is real, it could be the greatest historical document humanity has ever known. Let's recap the journey we've taken. On April 22nd, 1991, in a sealed room at S2 Alpha, a small creature with clay-colored skin, round eyes, and bruises on its head was interrogated behind a biocontainment glass. The video, shot on 16mm film and silent, captured the creature convulsing and foaming at the mouth before 2 medics intervened. 3 days later, a U.S. Air Force cameraman copied the film at the Groom Lake Photo Lab, hiding one copy in a GSA burn bag. And somehow it slipped past Area 51's stringent security to reach Victor, a mysterious man with a distorted voice and a murky story. In 1997, Victor brought the video to Rocket Pictures after being rebuffed by Fox Studios, releasing it on Coast to Coast AM, with Art Bell igniting the UFO community. From there, Jon Stewart, a former wrestler and investigative journalist, spent over 20 years proving the video wasn't a hoax, but possibly evidence of a covert U.S. government alien interrogation program. The clues Stewart uncovered are staggering. He verified the presence of Admiral William Ted Schaefer, a high-ranking official tied to Colin Powell, in the interrogation room. He identified a medic confirmed by the man's widow through the video, who never spoke of his Army Medical Corps service. He obtained a DIA email revealing details of an alien interrogation and retention program, and the existence of the Department of Naval Intelligence, DNI, an agency many thought fictional. He learned that the DNI ANG-27 overlay referred to the Yankee White security clearance reserved for those with presidential access. And he found that the video's monitoring device with its odd blip might be a one-off creation, as suggested by engineers from Space Labs and an HP spin-off employee. These details, along with the creature's lack of armpit creases, a feature universal in animatronic puppets, left even experts like Bill Mums baffled. But as compelling as these clues are, they also leave a trail of unanswered questions. Is the creature still alive? Or did it perish after those final moments? Where's the second copy of the film made at Groom Lake? What happened to Victor, who vanished after 1997? And why did he risk everything to release the video? Who was the Air Force cameraman who leaked the footage and what drove him to act? And if the video is real, why did the US government, with all its power, allow such a secret to escape? These questions don't just haunt Stewart, they haunt the UFO community and millions worldwide who've seen the video and wondered, are we being lied to about extraterrestrial life? The societal implications of this mystery go beyond the video itself. It taps into a profound American fear that the government is concealing the truth that secret programs like Majestic Aquarius or Zodiac operate unchecked. Area 51, tied to UFO incidents like Roswell and Bob Lazar's claims, has become a symbol of this distrust. The alien interview video, real or not, has reinforced the belief that greater secrets are buried and that our right to know is being denied. It also reflects a unique facet of American culture, a fascination with aliens, fueled by films like Close Encounters of the Third Kind and shows like The X-Files. In a society where science and myth intertwine, this video is a flashpoint evoking both hope and fear about what might exist out there. The emotional impact is equally profound. For the medic's widow, the video was a belated explanation for her husband's silence, but it also opened a new wound. What secret did he carry to his grave? For John Stewart, the investigation was more than a quest for truth. It was an obsession costing him time, money, and emotional energy. From spending a fortune to hire experts like Bill Mums, to traveling to Havana to meet a Parkinson's-afflicted priest, Stewart poured his heart into this story. And for the UFO community, the video is a beacon of hope, a reminder that the truth, however elusive, is worth pursuing. Linda Moulton, how Jaime Maussan and others rallied behind Stewart, offering experts and insights, as if fighting together against a wall of silence built by those in power. Personally reflecting on this mystery, I feel a deep unease. If the video is real, it poses a terrifying question. What would we do if we knew aliens not only exist, but are being held interrogated and perhaps treated as lab specimens? Do we have the strength or even the courage to face that truth? But if it's fake, it's no less powerful a testament to our capacity to doubt, to question what the government might be hiding. I lean toward the theory that the video could be real, not just because of Stewart's clues, but because of the silence from key figures. From the naval captain who ghosted Stewart to the former senator who snapped when asked about DNI, there's a sense that someone somewhere is desperate to keep this secret buried. And perhaps, as the priest in Havana said, if the truth is proven, it could change everything we know about ourselves and our place in the cosmos. But now I want to hear from you. What do you think about this video? Is it proof of an alien interrogation program? Or just a cleverly staged hoax? Is the government hiding the truth, or is this a psyop to distract us? Share your thoughts in the comments. I'm dying to know what you think, and maybe together we can get closer to the truth. And if you want to dive into more strange mysteries, subscribe. so you don't miss our next episodes where we'll keep exploring the darkest corners of history and science. The story of the Area 51 alien interview video may not be over. Perhaps the truth is still out there in the Nevada desert, behind Area 51's steel doors, waiting for someone brave enough to find it.